This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everyone. There are many that believe that we're here to create. We're here to create and learn. And when you think about it, the creation thing, we wouldn't be here unless the creation was involved in that. But we're also creating our reality, creating our future, whether we know it or not. We're also creating a foundation for healing because we've all been through a lot. We're going to dig into the creation aspect of things with somebody who is very much connected with a mental health facility, specializes in trauma-based therapy, and so much more. Metamorphosis is the name of the practice in Louisiana, and she's Lindsay Dugas, and she's back with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Really good, and love this topic because I try to study it and learn from it, and quite frankly, get what I feel I deserve within the creation of our minds.
Mm-hmm.
Is everything our creation?
I do believe that we are co-creators of our lives, for sure. What we put out, we get back. And I do believe that we do have a lot of say-so in what we are involved in and what comes our way and what we create and what we do with ourselves and through our journey.
Yeah, I've even heard this, that this moment was already created. The next one right here,
it's destined for us.
You know, the future, it's been created for you.
Absolutely. I do believe that wholeheartedly, that we are the co-creators of our lives. Now, we have lots of other aspects and influence that, can kind of help us create or make shifts with ourselves by people that come along our paths. Maybe they're meant to kind of spark us and shove us in a space of, growth and uncomfort. But ultimately, we do have the will and the decision to make those choices for ourselves.
And I get what you're saying, and I'm processing it so that the people and influences that are around us can influence our creative process, the creation of our lives. They might not have everything to do with it, but they made us decide, make choices that ultimately pilot our future and our lives now. So I see it that way, and a lot of times, we say, I had nothing to do with that. Yeah, you did.
But you did. Yeah, you absolutely do. I think that we co-create, and like I said, I think that people help spark things for us and kind of push us. It also teaches us things we don't want in our lives. So like we may see somebody and be like, oh, this is something that I need to create a boundary for myself. And so it kind of also teaches us what we do want, what we don't want. I am big on the words we speak over our lives matter. So if you are speaking empowering words to yourself, it's going to make a huge difference for yourself. If you keep telling yourself the same story of negativity over and over and over again, it's real easy to find that. It's real easy to validate that. So speaking over your life is a huge one for me.
Ultimately, are we talking about manifesting?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. And I wholeheartedly believe that. Even, I'm not singling anybody out. We all do different aspects of this. But when somebody says, I'm never going to make enough money. I'm not going to have enough money to buy that car. I just one thing right after another. Car that broke. Then the washing machine's broke. Well, I'm not going to be able to get ahead. Well, you just asked for that.
Right. If you keep saying it, I'm not going to be able to do this. I mean, yeah, you won't. You have to believe that you can. And that's half of getting over the hump.
Easier said than done.
Absolutely. For sure.
And there's all different reasons why we may think we deserve something or we may feel we we're destined for something, but there are things that are out there floating around in our subconscious that we're not even aware of that is getting in the way of that, in the belief of that should be happening or could happen.
Correct.
Mm.
Absolutely.
What's the secret?
What is the secret? I really do believe that the secret to this is there really is no secret. It's hard work. It's getting over the mindset. It's retraining the mind to think in the positive and breaking those negative patterns within yourself.
And that's where your help comes in.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
So,
I mean, I feel like here we are a prime example of co-creation. We are co-creating this healing house for people to come here and lay their burdens down and speak empowerment over themselves and, guiding them on how to actually like empower themselves, take their power back.
now you say co-create. How do
Mhm.
you mean? Why do you say it that way?
Because we are part of the influence in our lives. Like I said, when people come into our lives, they teach us things. And so that is where the co creation comes in. Different people are around you that helps you co create your reality.
Hmm. How do you help people? Like, how do you help them identify what is holding them back? I know there's many modalities, but how do you work with somebody that way?
So I just kind of talk to them and see where they are and truly just meet them where they are. And then begin to start unpacking, whether it's through talking with them or if it's through tray therapy, but having them understand that the patterns that they are repeating in their lives, when you keep making the same choices over and over again, you're not going to get different results if you keep going at it at the same approach. So, what I like to do is invite some curiosity into them and teach them a different way, a different method of creating a reality that they are happy to have.
When you work with somebody, do they have those aha moments where they realize, the connection there? Oh, wait, oh yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yes, because a lot of times the patterns that they are creating and they're moving from are habitual and they don't even see the moves that they're making for themselves or the moves that they're continuously repeating for themselves.
Yeah, forever you run into people that say the same thing. My friends say it. I get it. But could be a woman that says there's no good men out there. They're all, just they do this, they do that. My friend says all women are crazy in his experience, and maybe he's attracting those types.
Maybe it's the put what he's putting out there. Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm. So let's talk about that. What we're putting
Okay.
out there. We're talking about energy
Hmm.
and what you put. Tell me if you believe in this. What you put out there, you're getting back. It's almost like a mirror.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everything holds a frequency and we emit a frequency. And so I believe wholeheartedly, like whatever we are putting out, whatever we are looking for, we are going to find. So whether that's something that is in the negative mindset realm or the positive mindset, you're going to find what you're looking for.
Hmm. And then you need to evaluate what you're looking for, but
Absolutely.
with intention, because like you said, becomes a habit. You might not even know.
It becomes habitual, but that's where discernment comes in. And so, like what you pulling in for yourself, it's for you to discern whether or not it's right or wrong for you.
So, where did you have an epiphany in all of this, where you realized like your connection to maybe the way you were thinking and what was showing up for you? And I don't mean people showing up necessarily. I just mean, life in general.
So, where did I have my epiphany? Probably in about 2017. And I just realized that the life that I was living was not filling my cup. And I realized that I had to make some changes. And so I did. And I went through and weeded my garden and my mind and, tended to the things that needed to be tended to and kind of tried things on and said, okay, does this work for me? And if I felt like it didn't align with who I was in that moment, we let it go.
Mm. I think I shared them in a men's group, and this actually came up last night with first identify what your purpose is, or called your higher purpose. Uh, that's a work in progress too for many of us. We may not have figured that out. Um, but what you do on a daily basis needs to feed that purpose. And if it's not, something's not right, something's amiss, and you're never going to feel fulfilled. Like you said, your cup's not going to feel like it's full the way it should be, and all of that.
Correct.
Hmm. I have a vision board on my wall. Do you have one?
I don't have a vision board. I have one on my phone.
Do you really?
I do. I kind of keep photos of what the things that I would like to work towards and goals that I would like to have, and I kind of have it in a folder there. But I don't have a vision board that I look at every day.
I started there, just what you said. I was on a
Mm-hmm.
I was on a train, and I'm like, yeah, let me go Google some things here, and then I
Yeah.
put them in a folder, and I'm like, well, I'll get to that. And then I put it up on a board, and I don't know if there's a right way or a wrong way to do it. I wonder, about the placement of things, where your eye goes first and all of that. Um, but I added a few words based on what people have told me. And, of course, I got where I want to live, and, these things here, and, whatever. Doesn't matter
Mm-hmm.
what it is. It's personal, whatever, gravitates toward you. But these two words I put down, or better. So I'll take
Right.
that, or better. Somebody
Mm-hmm.
tell me that. And another one, and here we go with we've already manifested our future, this moment, all of that. Is three words. It is done. To believe that it's already been
Mm-hmm.
done. Yeah, like whatever you want, that car, that person, that job, whatever. It's already been done. You just need to attract it to you. You need to believe it's coming your way. Um, and I've heard that word deserve is a very strong one in terms of the
It
way
is.
our mind thinks. What do you
Yes,
think?
because if we don't have self-worth and we don't think that we deserve things, we're never going to get those. But if you believe wholeheartedly that you are deserving of those things, and you have, I call it law of assumption, that it is already yours, it kind of already puts that into motion for you.
I've heard that, law of assumption. What's the
Mhm.
difference between that and law of attraction?
So law of attraction is, in my mind, is where you think of what it is that you want and the steps that it takes to get there. So you have a goal that you want to work on, and you put the work in to get to said goal. Law of assumption is more of an embodiment. It is feeling that it is already yours. You have claimed it. It is already a part of who you are, and that is a big part of my practice too. So my thing is, what is your goal in 6 months? Act as if it's already yours. Move in the way that it's already yours. And it's going to dissolve some of the blocks between you and that goal. And it's going to help your mindset move to where you believe that you are working towards being that person. And when you feel it, it's a whole different experience.
How do you get to that point where you are believing it, you're feeling it? I'm right back to habit. How do you make that a habit?
You just keep going back to it. When you keep going back to something, it automatically is going to create a habit for you, whether it's a good habit or a bad habit. So keep going back to it. Keep thinking that the things are already yours. Keep thinking that the goal that you're working on, you know you're going to reach that goal. So it's just a process of taking the mindset and realizing when you're thinking a certain way and shifting to think in a positive way.
Now, let's take everything that we're talking about and apply it to somebody who's gone through some substantial traumas. I know, yeah, and we've all had traumas, in big
Yeah.
ones, little ones in our childhood, things that may seem so insignificant in your childhood. Again, that could be you bullied one day on the playground, or your friend turned around to
Right.
you and said, "We're not friends anymore," and walks away, and now you're not friends anymore. You're in fifth grade. What the heck happened? And that could really pilot your life later. Um, how do you apply everything that we're talking about through the lens of dealing with trauma-based therapy?
So with trauma-based therapy, that one is a little of a sticky situation if you're going to put those together, because yes, traumas, I would never like to think that we have invited a trauma into our lives, but every
Mm,
decision that we make creates a shift in us. And so along the way, I'm not saying that people deserve these traumas or anything like that, but along the way, there most likely was some sort of decision that you decided to make that kind of put that ripple into motion for you. And it could be something very simple, but it could also be something that, while it's traumatic for you, it's something that wakes you up and makes you realize that you need to make better decisions for yourself.
When you work with somebody, do you identify their traumas?
Oh, we try to. I
Okay.
also take a body-centered approach to therapy, but most of the time they come in and they let you know what their trauma is. You know,
Really?
they discuss what the trauma is. A lot of them, some of them realize what their trauma is, and that's what they need to unpack. But the work that I do goes very beyond what the logical mind thinks.
Well, I would also imagine too, with a discussion and a little bit of a deep dive when you learn about their life,
Hmm.
their childhood, you're helping them connect the dots. Like hypothetically here, let's say somebody's parents got divorced when they were a kid,
Hmm.
and as you go through um, learning about them, you might identify, oh, feelings of abandonment. Well, that's reasonable. You know, that one ties into that, and maybe that's a common theme going through. And then stack the traumas on top of that. Maybe it's a feeling of not being worthy of many things in life because you feel that way. And I'm just focusing on that divorce
Right.
situation, but I'm not. I as a kid I thought I caused their divorce. And then there's heavy trauma there.
Absolutely. And then what we grow up sometimes thinking is normal. I mean, it's normal to the person that's growing up in it, but it could be toxic and dysfunctional. And so we take that thinking that that is our normal, and we make that decision to bring that further along in our lives. And it takes that moment of that aha moment that you just spoke of to wake up to realize that, hey, this is not for me. I want better for myself. I want to make some changes within myself. That way it kind of creates that shift for you again, and then it ripples out towards the future generation. That
Hmm.
way you are the one that's breaking those chains and making the decisions for yourself to be a better, more whole, healed individual.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
So it sounds like you're referring to family lineage.
Hmm.
So let's say somebody identifies stuff from their past and their challenges and maybe the traumas, and then they work on it. Does that eradicate that from being passed on to future generations?
I believe so.
Mm.
Absolutely. I think that the work that we do, when you start healing yourself, it creates a change for the future and what's to come.
Is it just a DNA type thing? Let's say you get married, have kids, um,
Hmm.
and you're passing it on some of these traumas, and it's as I study it, it's in the DNA level, um, and it could go back to hundreds of years, and you're dealing with it now. Uh,
Absolutely, because our marker, we are made up of us and 13 generations behind us. So when we come here, we come with a lot of baggage. And so it's up to us to decide that we would like better. And so that's to me where the co creation comes in, because you decide that you want to create change. And so while navigating what's already been given to you, like your parents, your family, your ancestors, that also has impact on the life that you're creating, the reality you're creating, your culture, your heritage.
deep deep question. I don't even know if there's an answer for this. Um, this is where my mind goes. So
Okay.
let's say you're an adult, you have kids.
Hmm.
You recognize, some things maybe going through doing the work with you and your team. What happened in your childhood and traumas, and maybe even before that, whatever's showing up, and you worked on it, and you've kind of smoothed things over a little bit, and you're in a really much better place.
Hmm.
Here comes the tough question to answer.
Okay.
Energetically, does that change your offspring and their perception, and not just by lead by example. Let me show you how it's done. But I mean, energetically, since you've done the work, eradicated stuff, does it energetically transfer to, let's say, your kids?
Absolutely, because you're the one to break the chain. You're the one to break the cycle. You're the one to break the pattern. So when you break those and you create what it is that you or feel like you are deserving of, it definitely energetically creates a shift for you and everybody around you. So it would
Wow.
definitely create a shift and breaking change for the generations to come,
Even though they're already here.
even though they're already here.
Yeah. And where I'm going with that is, it's different when you're a different person. And let's say you have kids from that point forward. But I was really referring to what you said, the energetic aspect of it. And all I'm going to say is that's blanking cool.
It
You
is. It
know?
really is. Because I mean, when your kids, I mean, I have children. So whenever my kids can see that I am putting in the work and making the changes and implementing it, it shows them that it's not that hard.
Well,
It may
okay.
not be that easy, but it can be done.
That's the leading by example. You're showing them that, yeah, I'm doing some work on myself. Same thing is like I'm going to the gym, kids, every day. This is what
Hmm.
I need for me. Or I'm getting my nails done. I'm going on a walk. I'll be back later. This is what I need to do to make me feel good. That's showing them the example. But I'm
Hmm.
also referring to the energetic exchange where they might not even know dad or mom is working on themselves, but then there's an energetic shift within your kids.
Yeah, because you create an energetic shift within yourself. And so we have our auras around us, and so our magnetic field. And so that goes into play with theirs. And so, yes, I do believe that it definitely creates an energetic shift.
Thank you for validating that. I always wondered about that. When they talk about lineage and making
Hmm.
the change for those in the future, um, you could be making a change not in just in your kids, but their kids and their kids and their kids. You know,
Absolutely.
all this garbage stops now, people. And
Correct.
it's called doing the work, and it's called therapy, and it's life changing. I love how you roll energetically. Somatics, yoga, frequency. Every time we talk, I see a deeper part, and it's really cool. you know, it's
Hmm.
it's not nothing wrong with this. Not just therapy, not just coaching and counseling,
No.
but there's more going on here that needs to be acknowledged because it's a game changer. Lindsay, how do we find you?
So we are in Homa, and our website is metamorphosishoma.com. And we're also on Facebook, Metamorphosis Healing Arts Center.
And we're
So
talking
that is how you would find us
Louisiana, but can you work with anybody
in
anywhere?
Louisiana. Yeah, I am officially now doing virtual sessions. So I can work with anybody wherever. I had a session yesterday with someone in Oklahoma. So we are reaching far and wide now. So yeah, we can work with anybody.
Beautiful. The healing starts now. Thank you so much for being here today. Really,
Absolutely.
very much appreciate it.
All right. Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.